So good morning. Today we will go with some of the applications of integers. That is just the continuation of what we have done in the previous class. So I have already posted the worksheet of the problems yesterday. So just get through it. I am going through the first problem of it. So wherever you find the bold letters, that indicates that that particular content of that problem will be your homework. Okay, so we shall not be discussing it. So look at the first problem. Well, again, this first problem is just similar to the one which I have given you in the previous worksheet. Just to make you familiarized with such kind of applications, I have put one more of the same kind. Now look into that. In a test, 5 marks are given for every correct answer and minus 2 marks are given for every incorrect answer. Radhika answered all the questions and scored 30 marks through 10 correct answers. Jaya also answered all the questions and scored minus 12 marks through 4 correct answers. How many incorrect answers had both Radhika and Jaya attempted? Okay. So before we get into the problem, just put it all the details that are given. So for every correct answer, the candidate gets 5 marks. For every incorrect answer, the candidate gets minus 2 marks. And both the candidates, Radhika and Jaya, they have attempted all the questions. So there is no question of leaving any question. So they have attempted all the questions. And particularly Radhika answered all the questions and scored 30 marks through 10 correct answers. As I have told you, I will not be discussing the case of Radhika, which you will be doing by yourself. I am only going through the case of Jaya. Now look into the case of Jaya. Jaya also answered all the questions and scored minus 12 marks through 4 correct answers. How many incorrect answers Jaya attempted? So we are given that Jaya answered 4 correct answers. So for one correct answer, she will be getting 5 marks. Now she has written 4 correct answers. She will be getting 20 marks. That is 4 into 5. One correct answer 5 marks. She has written 4 correct answers, which is 4 into 5. That is equal to 20. Now we don't know how many incorrect answers she has attempted. We don't know how many incorrect answers. Let us assume that she has attempted x incorrect answers. For one incorrect answer, she will be getting minus 2 marks. So x incorrect answer, she will be getting x into minus 2 marks. Just like this. 4 correct answers, each correct answer 5 marks, 4 correct answers, 4 into 5, that is 20. We don't know how many incorrect answers she has attempted. Let us assume that the incorrect answers she has attempted as x. One incorrect answer, she is getting minus 2 marks. X incorrect answer, she will be getting x into minus 2, which is minus 2x. Now let us calculate the total marks. Total marks is the summation of these two. That is 20 plus minus 2x. And these total marks they have given you as minus 12. That is Jaya has scored minus 12 marks. So this total marks is minus 12. Now this is a simple equation. We have to solve for the value of x. Now plus into minus is minus. So this is 20 minus 2x is equal to minus 12. Now transpose this minus 12 onto the right hand side and bring this, in fact transpose minus 2x onto the right hand side and bring this minus 12 onto the left hand side. So minus 12 it becomes plus 12. And minus 2x it becomes plus 2x. 20 plus 12. 20 plus 12 is 32. 32 is equal to 2x. Bring this 2 to left hand side. Multiplicative quantity becomes a division quantity. So 32 by 2 is equal to x. 2 answer to 16 sir. So this implies x is equal to 16. Which means that she has written 16 incorrect answers. So that is the case. That is what we are supposed to find out. And you will be doing for Radhika. Similar case. Radhika has answered all the questions. She scored 30 marks through 10 correct answers. 10 correct answers, 1 correct answer 5 marks. 10 correct answers, 10 into 5, 50. We don't know how many incorrect answers she has attempted. Let us say the incorrect answers are some x. 1 incorrect answer, minus 2 marks, x incorrect answers, minus 2 into x. Just like the same. Now we calculate the total marks, which is 50 plus minus 2x, and the total marks are given as 30. So equate it, you will have a simple equation, solve it the way you have solved this. So that is it. Next. Second one. A shopkeeper earns a profit of rupees 1 by selling one pen and incurs a loss of 40 paise per pencil by selling pencils of her old stock. In a particular month, she incurs a loss of rupees 5. In this period, she sold 45 pens. How many pencils did she sell in this period? Okay, so before I get into that, as in the previous discussion or in the previous session, we have discussed whenever you have a profit, that is whenever money comes to you, we always denote that money with plus instead of using the word profit. Like the same, whenever the money loses from you, that is when you have loss. We discussed that we will be using a minus sign to denote the money that you lose or you lost. Like the same here also, I will be going with that. A shopkeeper earns a profit of rupees 1 by selling one pen. That is, on one pen, he is earning a profit of 1 rupee. So, earning a profit of 1 rupee, instead of using the word profit, I would rather say plus 1, which means that on one pen, he is having a profit of 1 rupee. Or the same thing, I will interpret this way. On one pen, he is getting 1 rupee. That is what I can interpret. Next, on one pencil, he is getting a loss of 40 paise. So, he is getting a loss of 40 paise. Instead of saying loss of 40 paise, I will say that he is getting minus 40 paise. That is what I will say. Minus 40 paise. Now, 40 paise, I will convert it into rupee divided by 100. So, minus 40 by 100. This is paise. And this is rupee. This is also rupee here. So 0, 0 they get cancelled. This is minus 0.4. That is, on one pen, he is getting the shopkeeper is getting 1 rupee. On one pencil, he is getting minus 0.4. So that is what the interpretation that can be made on the initial details that are given from the question. So this is the thing. One pen is getting 1 rupee. One pencil is getting minus 0.4 rupees. So that is the interpretation that you can make. Now look into the first case. In a particular month, she incurred a loss of rupees 5. In this period, she sold 45 pens. How many pencils did she sell in this period? Okay, in that particular month, she sold 45 pens. On one pen, she is getting 1 rupee. On 45 pens, how many rupees she gets? One pen, 1 rupee, 45 pens, she gets 45 rupees. So, on the stock of pens, she gets or he gets 45 rupees. Now, we don't know how many pencils she sell in that period. Let us assume that the number of pencils she has sold in that period be X. On one pencil, she is getting minus 0.4. And X pencils, it is X into minus 0.4. So X into minus 0.4, what do you get? X into minus 0.4 is minus 0.4x. How's it? Minus 0.4x. So X into minus 0.4 is minus 0.4x. Now we will try to see what is the total amount that she is getting. So on pens she is getting 45 rupees. On pencil she is getting minus 0.4x. Now we calculate the total amount, which is 45 plus minus 0.4x. So this is 45 plus into minus is minus 0.4x. Now this is the amount she is getting. But it was given that she incurs a loss of rupees 5. That is, on this she is getting a loss of 5 rupees. Loss in the sense, as we have discussed, we denote with minus. Instead of saying that she incurred a loss of 5 rupees, I will say that she is getting minus 5 rupees in the whole transaction, which means this entire amount is same as minus 5. So loss is denoted with minus sign and the numerical is same as we are speaking in that particular case. Then this is what we have discussed. Whenever we have loss, we denote with minus, profit we denote with plus. In that case, we are getting a loss of 5 rupees. So instead of using the word loss, I will say minus 5. That indicates that it is loss. So in the whole transaction, that is when she sells 45 pens and X pencils, she is getting a loss of minus 5. That is what I have interpreted in a mathematical statement. Now let us bring this to the right hand side and this to left hand side. So this is 45 minus 5, it becomes plus 5, and minus 0.4x, it becomes plus 0.4x. Next 45 plus 5, 45 plus 5 is 50. So this is 50 is equal to 0.4x. Now transpose this. So if you transpose, what do you get? 50 by 0.4 is equal to x. Now 0.4 you can write it as 4 by 10. So this is 50 by 4 by 10 is equal to x. Now take the reciprocal of this. This is 50 into 10 by 4 is equal to x. Simplify this. 2 2s, 2 5s, 2 1s, 2 25s. So 25 into 5, 25 5s are 125. So that implies x is equal to 125, which means that she has sold 125 pencils, and all together in the whole transaction she arrived at a loss of 5 rupees. So that is what is it. Again I'll repeat this. Initially we are given 1 pen. On 1 pen she is getting a profit of 1 rupee. That is the reason I have indicated that as plus 1. On 1 pencil she is getting a loss of 40 paise. So that is the reason I have indicated with minus 40 paise. Then I have converted that into rupees, which is 0.4 rupee. Minus 0.4 rupee. Now in the first case she sold 45 pence. 1 pen she is getting 1 rupee, 45 pence she gets 45 rupees. That is what I have written. And we don't know how many pencils she is sold. I am assuming that the number of pencils she has sold as some x. So on 1 pencil she is getting minus 0.4. On x pencil she gets minus 0.4x. Now I am trying to calculate the total amount she is getting. Now this is the total amount she got. But it was given that she got a loss of rupees 5, or in other words we can interpret the same as she got minus 5 rupees. So this is same as minus 5. This is the amount which she has got, and they are saying that that amount is minus 5. So that is the reason I have equated it to minus 5. Again this is a simple equation, I have solved it. So I brought this minus 5 to left hand side, plus 5, minus 0.4 to right hand side. So this is plus, and I have simplified. So if you feel that leaving minus 4 by 10 is a bit more easier for you, you can write 4 by 10 and you can simplify, you will get the same answer. So that is with regards to the first case. Now look into the second case. In the next month, she earns neither profit nor loss. If she sold 70 pens, how many pencils did she sell? Okay. In the previous case, we have gone with minus 0.5. In this case, let me go with minus 4 by 10. Let us see the variation. What number be taken so that like what form of the number be taken so that the simplification process gets easier. That's what we do. Okay, look at that. She sold 70 pens. On 1 pen, she is getting 1 rupee. 70 pens. How much she will get? 70 rupees. So 70 rupees is what she gains on pens. Next, we don't know how many pencils she sells. Let us assume that X pencils are being sold. On 1 pencil, she is getting minus 4 by 40. On X pencils, she will get how much? X into minus 4 by 40, which is same as minus 4x by, in fact minus 4 by 10, which is same as minus 4x by 10. I repeat it again. On 1 pencil, she is getting minus 4 by 10 rupees. I have assumed that she sold X pencils. 1 pencil minus 4 by 10 rupees. X pencils, X into minus 4 by 10, which is minus 4x by 10. Now I am trying to calculate how much amount she got in selling both pens and pencils, which is the summation of the amount which she got on pens and also the amount which she got on pencils. Minus 4x by 10. Now this is 70, plus into minus is minus 4x by 10. Now we are told that she got neither profit nor loss. Again, this is a case which we have discussed in the previous session as well. That is, if it is profit, there would have been a positive number. If it is loss, there would have been a negative number. Since she neither got a profit nor loss, which means there is no positive number, no negative number. The number which is neither positive nor negative is only one number, that is 0, which means that she arrived or which means that she got 0 rupees. So transpose it onto the other side, that is 70 is equal to minus 4x by 10, transpose it, it is plus 4x by 10. But this is a point to be noted. She got neither profit nor loss. If she has a profit, then we would have got a positive value. There should be a positive value if it is positive. If it is negative or if it is loss, there would have been a negative value. But since it is neither profit nor loss, you should have to think of a number which is neither positive nor negative. Now that number is 0, which means that she has got 0 rupees in the whole transaction. So this is the amount which she has got in the whole transaction, and that amount is 0 because it is neither positive nor negative. Neither positive nor negative in the sense neither profit nor loss. So that is the reason it is 0. So bring this minus 4x by 10 to the right hand side, plus 4x by 10. Cross multiply. 70 into 10 is equal to 4x. Now bring 4 to the left hand side. 70 into 10 by 4 is equal to x. Simplify this. 2 2s, 2 5s, 2 1s, 2 35s. Now 35 into 5. 35 into 5 is how much? 5 5 25, 5 2, 5 3 15, 16, 17. So this is 175 is equal to x. So that is the case. 5 5 25, 5 3 15, 16, 17. So which means that when she sold 175 pencils, so she has got neither profit nor loss. So that is the case. Next, in a class test containing 15 questions, 4 marks are given for every correct answer, minus 2 marks are given for every incorrect answer. Bharati attempts all questions but only 9 are correct. What is her total score? Okay. Now this is just similar to the first column which we have done. So again we write the details given. So in a class test containing 15 questions, so total questions are 15. These are the total questions, and for correct answer she is getting 4 marks, and incorrect she is getting minus 2 marks. Now Bharati attempts all the questions, that is she has written all the 15 questions and only 9 are correct. So 9 are out of 15, 9 are correct, and she has attempted all the questions, which means the leftover questions out of those 15 are incorrect. See, out of 15, 9 are correct. The leftover are incorrect because she has attempted all the questions. So how many are left over? 15 questions are being given in a class test, and all the questions are being attempted by that particular guy, out of which 9 questions are correct, which means that the remaining are incorrect. So how many questions are remaining? May I say 6? 15 minus 9, those are the leftover questions, and she has attempted those questions incorrect. See, this is just similar to the previous problems. However, the only difference is in the previous cases we are given how many questions that particular person has written correctly or incorrectly. Here we need to find out how many questions that the person has attempted correctly or incorrectly. In the previous case, these are given directly. Now we are trying to find out how many that particular person has written correctly or incorrectly. So 9 correct, 6 incorrect. Now 1 correct answer, 4 marks. 9 correct answers, 4 into 9, which is 36. 1 correct answer minus 2 marks. 1 incorrect answer minus 2 marks. 6 incorrect answers, 6 into minus 2. 6 into minus 2 is how much? Minus 12. Now we want the total score, which is the summation of this. So that is 36 plus into minus is minus 12. So that gives 3 minus 1 2, 6 minus 2 is 4. So the total marks which she has scored is 24. So that is with regards to the first case, and second case is homework. Now fourth question is just similar to that problem of basmati rice which we have done in the previous discussions. So that is homework. Even fifth question is just similar to the first problems. So I am going with the sixth one. The temperature at noon was 10 degrees above zero. If it decreases at the rate of 2 degrees Celsius per hour until midnight, at what time would the temperature be 8 degrees Celsius below zero? What would be the temperature at midnight? Okay. So before we get into the problem, let us discuss what is above zero, what is below zero. See, we are drawing a number line and we are discussing all the numbers onto the right side are positive and all the numbers onto the left side are negative. This is one way of interpreting. All the numbers above zero are positive and all the numbers below zero are negative. Which means that at 12 noon the temperature is 10 degrees Celsius. Above zero in the sense positive, that is plus 10 degrees Celsius, which we take it as 10 degrees Celsius. Next, if it decreases at the rate of 2 degrees Celsius per hour until midnight, that is for 1 hour the temperature is being reduced by 2 degrees Celsius. At what time would the temperature be 8 degrees Celsius below zero? So first what we do is, we will try to identify after how many hours the temperature becomes 8 degrees Celsius below zero. Below zero in the sense minus 8. That is 8 degrees below zero in the sense we are talking about minus 8 degrees. So now I will try to find out after how many hours the temperature becomes minus 8. Then if suppose say after 5 hours the temperature becomes minus 8, then I will add upon those 5 hours to 12. 12 after 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, which means that at 5 o'clock the temperature is minus 8. So that is the thing which I am going to find out. So I am assuming that after some x hours the temperature becomes minus 8. So 1 hour the temperature is being reduced by 2 degrees Celsius. Now in x hours let me calculate how many degrees Celsius gets reduced. 1 hour 2 degrees, x hours may say 2x degrees Celsius gets reduced. Now reduce that 2x degrees Celsius from the initial temperature, and now this temperature is minus 8 degrees Celsius. Now simplify this for the value of x, or you can take out this and at last you can place that degrees Celsius. This is a simple equation, do it. Minus 2x, take it to the other side, minus 8, bring it to this side. 10 plus 8 minus 2x, it becomes plus 2x. 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 is equal to 2x. Now bring 2 to this side. 18 by 2 is equal to x. 2 1s are 2 9s are. So that implies x is equal to 9. Now this indicates that after 9 hours the temperature becomes minus 8. So now calculate 9 hours after 12. After 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means that at 9 o'clock the temperature is minus 8 degrees. Once again I will interpret the logic here. They are asking you at what time the temperature becomes minus 8. Provided every 1 hour after 12 o'clock 2 degrees temperature is being reduced. So what I am trying to do is, I am trying to calculate, instead of the time, I am calculating after how many hours the temperature becomes minus 8 degrees. I am assuming that after x hours the temperature becomes minus 8 degrees. So I am trying to calculate in x hours how much temperature gets reduced. This is the temperature that gets reduced. So I am subtracting from 10, and this temperature, reduced temperature, is minus 8 degrees Celsius. So I have a simple equation I have calculated, and I came to know that after 9 hours the temperature becomes minus 8 degrees. So after 12 I am calculating 9 hours is what the time. So 9 hours is the 9 hours is same as 9 o'clock. If suppose it is 11 o'clock, it would have been 8 o'clock at night. If it is 10 o'clock, it would have been 7 o'clock. So that is what the interpretation, that is the first part of the question. Next, what would be the temperature at midnight? At midnight is 12, yes. So 12 to 12, how many hours? 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 12 o'clock at night is 12 hours again. So 1 hour 2 degrees is being reduced. So 12 hours, how much temperature gets reduced? 1 hour 2 degrees. 12 hours, may I say 2 into 12, which is 24 degrees. Yes. Now subtract that, reduce the 24 degrees from the initial temperature. So what do you get? 10 minus 24, which is minus 14 degrees Celsius. Yes. So at 12 o'clock midnight, the temperature is minus 14 degrees Celsius. So that is it with regards to the sixth problem. Now with the last problem we concluded. An elevator descends into a mine shaft at the rate of 6 meters per minute. If it descent starts from 10 meters above the ground level, how long it will take to reach minus 350? Suppose say this is your ground level. The elevator is somewhere over here. The elevator is at 10 meters. That is, the height is 10 meters. So this is some zero level, that is the ground level. And the elevator has to go down in this way, and it has to go down 350 meters. So say 350 meters is somewhere, that is, so this is your 350 meters. So here the elevator is there at 10 meters above the ground, and it has to go 350 meters below the ground. That is what they are saying, minus 350. Instead of using the word below, they are using minus 350. Just like profit and loss, plus minus, which we have indicated. Here also the same case. When we say below, we indicate with minus, above we indicate with plus. Okay. So now they are given you how the elevator is going down. In 1 minute it is going 6 meters. Now from this point to this point, let us calculate how much distance it has to travel, and we will identify how much time it takes. Just like the previous problem. Initially it is at 10 meters. Now in 1 minute it is going 6 meters down. 1 minute it is going 6 meters down. We don't know how much time it takes to reach minus 350. Let us assume that it takes x minutes. 1 minute 6 meters, x minutes, may I say it goes 6x, and that will be same as minus 350. Just like the previous problem, previous temperature problems. That is 6 meters is being reduced in every 1 minute. In x minutes 6x gets reduced, so I am reducing it. And the resultant is minus 350, because I have assumed that after x minutes it reaches minus 350. So that is when it goes down and down by x minutes, in the x minute it comes to minus 350. So that is the reason I have gone with 10 minus 6x is equal to minus 350. This is a simple equation which we will simplify it. 10 minus 350, bring it on to the left hand side, plus 350 minus 6x, it becomes plus 6x. 10 plus 350 is 360 is equal to 6x. Bring this 6 to left hand side. 360 by 6 is equal to x. 6 1s are 6 6 are. So that implies x is equal to 60 minutes. So 60 minutes or 1 hour, both are same. So which means that after 1 hour the elevator goes 350 meters below the ground level. That is the meaning of it. Once again I repeat it. Initially the elevator is 10 meters above the level ground. In every 1 minute it goes down by 6 degrees. So we are being asked after how many minutes it goes to minus 350. So I am assuming that after x minutes it goes to minus 350. So 1 minute 6 meters. So x minutes it is 6x. So that is what I have written. So 10 minus 6x, that is same as minus 350. That is at 10 meters it is this. For every every minute it goes down 6 meters. So likewise we are being told to find after how many minutes it reaches 350. So I am assuming that after x minutes it reaches 350. So 1 minute 6 meters going, it's going down. X minutes it goes 6 meters down. So 10 minus 6x, that is same as minus 350. So this is one way of doing the problem. The other way is we try to calculate how much distance it has to travel. So from this point to this point it is 10, and from this point to this point it is 350. So the total distance that the elevator has to travel is 360 meters. The elevator is going in this direction. It has to travel 360 meters from this point to this point, because this is 10 meters, this is 350, so total is 360. So it has to go 360 meters down, but it is going in 1 minute 6 meters. 1 minute it is going 6 meters. Now in how many minutes it goes 360 meters, just like this. Like one chocolate cost is 10 rupees. You have 100 chocolates. You have 100 rupees. How many chocolates you buy? I repeat it. You have one chocolate cost is 10 rupees. You have 100 rupees. how many chocolates you buy? 100 by 10. Similarly, you have to travel 360 meters, just like the amount which you have got 100. In 1 minute, you are traveling 6 meters. How much time it takes to travel 360 meters? It is 360 by 6. 360 by 6, same 360 by 6, which is 60 minutes, that is 1 hour. So you can interpret either way. So 10 meters plus this 350, so total the elevator has to travel is 360 minutes. 1 minute it is traveling 6 meters. So how many minutes it takes to travel? 360 meters. So that is this. So that is all about it. We'll discuss the leftover problems in the next session, and those problems are for your homework. Thank you.